Prvi dober dan in dobrodošli na predavanje politično in performativnim oziroma nameni med političnim in performativnim. A me slišite vsi dobro? Dobro. Jaz sem Dragana in bom na kratko predstavila program Globalne SOFE, o kateri verjetno veliko vas že ve, veliko tega, ampak vseeno. Sicer se sama ukvarjam z sodobnim plesom na več različnih nivojih, kot avtorica predstav, performerka, organizatorica festivalov in tako naprej. Od januarja tega leta pa sodelujem z organizacijo, ki se imenuje Ekvilib inštitut in ki ima program Globalna SOFA, ki se ukvarja v bistvu družbeno odgovorno umetnostjo. Verjetno imam tudi vsi približno ista asociacija, ko rečem družbeno odgovorno umetnost. Trenutno se pri nas izvajajo tri različni programi. En program je vezan na gledališče dotiranih, ki se v bistvu dejansko šele uvaja, oziroma so neki nastavki v Sloveniji. To je ena praksa, oziroma sklop različnih metod, ki sicer obstajajo že več kot 50 let. V Sloveniji smo pa še s tem začeli. Drugi izobraževalni program je pa dokumentarna fotografija in pa še tretji dokumentarni film. To pa pomeni dejansko, da povabimo ljudi, ki bi radi gledali tega programa in oni dobijo neke osnovne znanja, principe delovanja, vsebinske kot tehnične načine, kako je medija, pa ena umetniška zvrst deluje in potem tudi realizirajo svoje projekte znotraj našega programa, lahko rečem. Ko smo se pogovarjali v bistvu kakšne vrste predavanja bi imeli, ki bi lahko tudi bila odprta za publiko, iz enega samega razloga, ker dejansko gledališče dotiranih se šele nekako vzpostavlja v Sloveniji, sem dobila idejo, da je mogoče najboljše, da povabimo tiste umetnike in tiste ljudi, predvsem, ki v svoj praksi imajo, mogoče to še zanimivo vsebino, pa v scenografiji razstave Roka Delarja in Jasmine Založnik, ki se imenuje Koreografija v epohi gibanja. Tako da lahko, mogoče, ko bo tisti, ki bo se zdržali do konca predavanja, lahko tudi sprobate, kaj iz tega, kar vidimo tukaj. No, da se vrnem nazaj na to, kar sem prej govorila. Meni se zelo skratka pomembno, da povabimo ljudi, oziroma da eni ljudi, ki v Sloveniji že delujejo, imajo takšno izkušnjo življenja in ustvarjanja na tej neki meji politično scensko, da lahko povejo, kaj v svoji lastni praksi in da to nekako okvirijo v en teoretični, da umestijo v nek teoretični okvir. In seveda Janez Janša je en izmed prvih, ki pade na pamet, ko gre za to, tako da ne bi mogoče več o tem govorila. Če vas kaj več zanima o globalni SOFI, pa lahko zveste na sofaglobal.org ali pa se lahko oglasite na Medvedovi 28 v naši pisarni ali pa napišite mi kaj podobnega. Tako da struktura tega predavanja današnjega maratonskega bo takšna, boš li povedal, ali bom jaz? Je takšno, da v bistvu bo v dveh delih in na koncu vsakega dela bo prostor in čas za vprašanje in debate, tako da ne vem, koliko časa ste se sicer vzeli, ampak tako da veste, da bo tako v dveh sklopih. Janša bo povedal tematsko več v dveh sklopih. Hvala, da si prišel.
Hvala za vabilo in vsaka čast temu, kar delate in vam želim veliko motivacije in dobrih idej in tudi razumevanja za to, kar delate. V glavnem, to vabilo je v bistvu zelo zanimivo zame, zaradi tega, ker v bistvu sicer prihaja iz nekega kulturno-umetniškega konteksta, ampak v bistvu bolj nekako je odprto neko širšo družbo. In recimo eno od velikih vprašanj danes je, kakšno je mesto umetnosti sploh v družbi, kako naj sploh umetnost razumemo znotraj celote dogajanja naših življenj in nasploh tega, kar v družbi je. Potem pa seveda odpogledamo tudi zelo specifično skozi optiko nekega zelo negativnega imidža, ki ga pač umetnost ima v tem obdobju pač varčevalnih ukrepov in tako naprej, kot nekaj odveč. In ko govorimo in uporabno to besedo odveč, to takoj v bistvu podrazumeva, to takoj v bistvu prinese neko razumevanje umetnosti nasploh v naših življenjih. Se pravi, umetnost kot nek dodatek, kot nek dekor in tako naprej. In skratka, zelo hitro pridem do nekega meščanskega pojmovanja umetnosti. Ampak, da ne bi pač preveč zašli, že na samem začetku. Jaz bom pač v prvem delu predstavil pač nekatere projekte, ki sem jih ustvaril v zadnjih letih in nekako bom šel od tega, od recimo projektov, ki so na nek način očitno politični, po neki svoji vsebini ali pa ikonografiji, potem pa v bistvu prehajal na neka politična vprašanja, ki mogoče niso tako očitna na prvi pogled, a če nekoliko bližje si ogledamo, imajo mogoče neko večjo radikalnost, večjo ostrino, da ne govorimo pač neki bolj kompleksni naravi teh projektov. Kot je Dragana pač napovedala, bi bilo zelo v redu, da se pač spustimo v dialog, skratka, da zastavljamo, pač, da vprašate, če vas kaj zanima, po drugi strani, potem bi pač naredili pauzo, v drugem delu bi pa govoril o spremembi imena, pač za tiste, ki ne veste, leta 2007 smo se 3 umetniki spremenili uradno imena, se 3 v Janez Janša in to je neka dost, ko bi rekel, zgodba, o kateri se dost govori, zelo malo ali pa precej pač preslišanih elementov te zgodbe. Tako da to bi pač bilo nekako v drugem delu. To je sicer veliko, ampak pač vsekakor sem pač probal potruditi, da nekako zadeva dost gladko teče in da jo lahko sledite. Skratka, začel bi v bistvu z enim projektom, ki pač katerega sliko vidite, naslov je Zidova objatovanja. To je v bistvu zadnja stvar, ki sem jo v bistvu naredil letos marca v Mariboru in gre za nek poseg v javni prostor oziroma instalacijo v javnem prostoru. Pač vidite, zakaj gre, pač rdeč in črni zid, vmes je pa bazen v obliki mape Slovenije. Sredi tega bazena je ta knežev kamen. Skratka, vprašanje, ki se tukaj zastavi, je zelo nenavadno, iz katerega materijala so pač narejeni ti zidovi. In ko odgovorimo, da so pač narejeni iz ledenih blokov, iz ledu, potem pač cela stvar nekako dobi pač nek pomen in tudi ima neko svojo, kako bi rekel, dosti drugačno zgodbo od te monumentalnosti, ki jo vidimo pač na prvi pogled na tej fotografiji. V bistvu gre za nekakva ideja, je nastala iz enega projekta, ki sem ga delal že dosti časa nazaj, leta 1998, kjer v bistvu sem se ukvarjal z nekim apokaliptičnim stanjem duha na koncu 20. stoletja, ko je v bistvu zelo bilo v zraku vprašanje, kakšna bo prihodnost, kakšno bo tretje tisočletje. Pojavili so se vse sorte nekih teh apokaliptičnih znamenj, od najbolj znani ta Millennium Bug, ki bo uničil vse računalnike in ostali bomo naenkrat brez spomina in tako naprej. Skratka, nekako v zraku je bil nek tak katastrofični moment, ne, in neka reakcija, pač ironična je bila, ok, mislim, veliko se joče nad našo prihodnostjo, dajmo zbrati te solze. Ne. In v bistvu sem naredil 3 prostora, kamor so se ljudje lahko prišli razjokati. In v prostoru individualnega spomina je posameznik bil sam s sabo, to je bila pač kabina za enega človeka, in če se je pač razjokal, je dobil zlati certifikat, zaradi tega, ker je pač dal največ od sebe. Drug prostor je bil prostor kolektivnega spomina, kjer so pač bili na voljo filmi, ki so proizvajali zelo močna čustva, tako močna, da so lahko pač obiskovalce spravili v jok, od katastrofičnih filmov, tragičnih, zelo žalostnih, sentimentalnih, do euforičnih, naprimer športne zmage, do melodram in nenazadnje tudi do humorja, kar ti tudi smehite lahko spravi v solze. V primeru, da bi se nekdo tukaj razjokal, bi dobil srebrni certifikat, zaradi tega, ker pač smo mu pomagali. Če mu pa ne bi uspel, ne v enem, ne v drugem prostoru, je pač šel v prostor fiziološkega spomina in v prostoru fiziološkega spomina se vsak razjokal, zato, ker je pač dobil kemični stimulus in se je pač razjokal. Naredili smo tudi posebna očala, pač take steklene ilijake, ki so bili pač pod očmi, tako da so se te solze stekale pač v epruvete in jih pač smo jih takrat zbirali. No, lani je bil pač ta del projekta obnovljen. Istočasno se mi je pa zastavilo vprašanje, ki je tudi neko vprašanje naše civilizacije, krščanske, bi rekel, pa tudi drugih verjetno, pač v javnem prostoru ne jočemo in kdo je pol tisti, ki joče za nas, pač, ker nas je sram in tako naprej. Ne? Zdaj, v tradicionalnih družbah še vedno najdemo naricalke, skratka ženske, ki jih je možno najeti za to, da pač pridejo odjokati za nas, naprimer na pogrebih in tako naprej. Ne? Poznamo tudi tako rekoč arhitekturno ikono oziroma judovske civilizacije, to je zidov jokovanja v Jeruzalemu, kamor pač naj bi po zahodni interpretaciji Židje hodili jokat, kar ni res. Ne? Ampak pač, dobil je to ime in to ime sem si sposodil pač za ta 2 zidova in sem jih naredil iz ledu, zato da pač se oni razjočejo namesto nas, da oni jočejo. In oni to dobesedno počnejo. To pa zgleda približno takole. A vidite, v redu. Približno 14 dni je to trajalo, kar ste videli zdaj v slabih 2 minutah. V glavnem, tako kot je v navadi v Jeruzalemu, so tudi tukaj obiskovalci lahko pustili svoja sporočila. Tukaj je pač eno od njih. In na nek način se je zdaj, ker nabrali smo jih ogromno in ko človek to bere, dejansko vidiš spet neko potrebo ljudi v mestu, da se izražajo. Da se sporočajo in tako naprej. In glede na pač neko emotivno kvaliteto, ne vseh seveda, veliko je tudi foromaškega sovraštva, ampak en velik del so zelo emotivna sporočila, ljubezen, prijateljstvo in tako naprej. Dejansko vidiš, da v javnem prostoru manjka nek ta moment možnosti emotivnega nastopanja. Skratka, ampak da ne gremo zdaj to, lahko mogoče debati, odpiramo pač, zakaj so v bistvu emocije nezaželene, ampak res vprašanje zakaj, ne da bi to bilo neko moralno vprašanje zdaj, ali je to dobro ali ni, ampak zakaj na nek način emocij ni v javnem prostoru, oziroma kako so programirane, kadar pač se zgodijo. V glavnem zid se je stopil v 2 tednih in zdaj, če se vrnemo na to začetno vprašanje, če pogledamo pač to podobo, ta je direktno politična. Rdeči in črni se joče nad Slovenijo, zmagajo na koncu črni in, ko bi rekel, to je recimo prvo preprosto branje tega. Drugo, popolnoma obratno branje, a spet politično in prekratko, je pač te slike, to sliko ste videli na koncu, stopljenih zidu, pač rdeči in črni bojo zginali, na koncu bo zmagala Slovenija in ni več važno, kakšne barve, ampak pač oblika in tako naprej. Tisto, kar je recimo meni dosti bolj zanimivo pri tej stvari, je nekaj drugega. Je pač nek poetični moment samega materiala, namreč ne verjamem, da kdorkoli, ki ne pozna ta projekt, tudi ko pogleda recimo to bližino, težko ugotoviš, da je to narejeno iz ledu. Iz preprostega razloga, ker ne asociraš barvo iz ledu. In zato je v bistvu tukaj nek moment, ker na nek način zelo problematizira to vprašanje, ki sem ga na začetku zastavil, kako umetnost postaviti v družbo. In recimo tukaj je en odgovor, tako da se dotakneš. In to je spet neko vprašanje za razmišljanje, glede na to, da praktična umetnost je nekaj, česar naj se ne bi dotaknili. Govorim zelo nasplošno, seveda, izjemno ogromno. Ampak ta nivo materijala, ta nujnost dotika, da sploh ugotoviš, zakaj gre, se meni zdi tukaj zelo zanimiva tudi z tega stališča, spet, če govorimo o političnem in tako naprej, a obstajajo stvari v družbi, ki so nedotakljive. A je nekaj, kar v bistvu do česar ne smemo imeti dostopa in ali je to nekaj pač v registru prepovedi ali pa v nekem drugem registru. No, druga stvar, ki je meni recimo dosti bolj zanimiva, oziroma se mi zdi tudi bistveno večji potencial, ta je moment časa. Ta park pač v Mariboru je sicer dosti frekventen in tudi dosti ljudi se je večkrat vračalo po neki svoji dnevni rutini, ne zaradi tega, da bi pač prišli zid gledati, spuščati sporočila, pomim, no. Ampak tisto, kar je pač meni bilo tukaj izjemno zanimivo, je ta moment vztrajanja. Ne samo pač trajanja, ampak vztrajanja, ki v bistvu pripelje do izbrisa. Skratka, za razliko od neke monumentalnosti spomenika, kar vidimo na prvi pogled je to v bistvu nekaj, kar je bilo proizvedeno za to, da zgine. In to relativno hitro. Obenem se mi kot nekem ustvarjalcu živih izvedb, predstav, performance in tako naprej, zdaj to en izjemno precizen performance v vsej potenci in globini in širini tistega, kar recimo pričakujemo od neke predstave. Skratka, neka zelo močna emotivna metafora, zelo močan moment participacije, vztrajnost teh zidov, ki so pač od začetka do konca odigrali svoj performance, istočasno so pa znotraj tega imeli veliko improviziranih momentov, ker ni bilo jasno, koliko bo trajalo to, in tudi ni bilo jasno, skozi kakšne faze in transformacije bodo šli tih zidovi, ker pač je odvisno od vremena. In kot ste lahko videli na filmu, dolgo časa se oblika ni bistveno spreminjala, potem pa kar na hitro šlo. Jasno, da ker se je zid tanjšal, in pol v enem trenutku, ko je bilo še čez 20 stopinj, je kar padlo. No, to je bil recimo en primer nekega zelo direktno političnega. Drugi, še bolj direkten primer neke politične vsebine, direktno politične, tako rekoč vsakdanje politične vsebine, je bila predstava Slovensko narodno gledališče. Zagotovo veste, da je leta 2006 izbruhnil upor lokalnega prebivalstva v vseh Ambrus in Zagrebec in še nekaterih okolnih vseh na Dolenjskem in da po večmesečnem ali večtedenskem zelo vročih in intenzivnih in demonstracijah in barikadah in pogajanjih in tako naprej, je na nek način družina Strojan, ki je živela med tema dvema vasema, Zagrebec in Ambrus, morala zapustiti njihovo tam, kjer so pač živeli, na svoji parceli, in se nikoli več niso vrnili nazaj. Ta dogodek sem potem uprizoril na ta način, da sem vzel posnetke iz televizije, zmontiral samo zvok teh demonstracij in pogajanj in potem igralcem štirim dal to kot nek govorni material. Skratka, oni so poslušali te posnetke, surove, medtem, ko gledalci pač tega niso slišali. In govorili so na zelo neemotiven način, ampak govorili so besedilo, ki je polno sovraštva, ki je polno nasilja, ki je polno rasizma, ki je polno neke želje po maščevanju. Po eni strani, po drugi strani, kadar govorijo politiki, ministri, je polno neke politične latovščine, ki vsako stvar pozitivno predstavlja. Najbolj zanimiv in tudi najbolj dramatičen je pa pogovor, če se spomnite, ko je Drnovšek pripeljal pač 2 kontejnera pred Božičem in leta 2006 in je v bistvu poskušal na nek način omogočiti prebivališče družini Strojan, ki se je vrnila, potem, ko je bila pač od tam preseljena in so njihova bivališča bila uničena popolnoma, je poskušal pač prepeljati, vaščani so preprečili kamionom dostop, potem se je pa začel dialog, ki je verjetno eno najbolj epskih in tudi potem dramatičnih v sodobni slovenski zgodovini. Ne, če se tega pač spomnite iz medijev, ali če je kdo bil na predstavi, ampak to je v bistvu pogovor, v katerem pač Drnovšek preizprašuje temeljne humanistične pozicije, sprašujoč te ljudi, a ste vi ljudje, a ste vi krščani in tako naprej. Vaščani pa pač odgovarjajo v svojem jeziku. Predstava oziroma sam dogodek je zame tragičen, čeprav na koncu ni bilo žrtev in čeprav recimo, če primerjamo, kaj se pač dogaja z Romi v drugih državah, je v bistvu relativno nedolžen, ampak tragičen je pač v tem smislu, ker pokaže, da dve skupnosti etnične ne morate skupaj pač prebivati. Skratka, pridemo do nekega nerešljivega problema. In tragično v resnici se mi zdi, ko prideš do te točke, da ni druge kot pač z močjo določiti, kdo mora iti. In to se je tukaj zgodilo. Po drugi strani pa gledam na ta dogodek kot nek zadnji konstitutivni dogodek konstituiranja slovenskega naroda kot naroda, potem pač, ko je dobil svojo zemljo, imel jezik in tako naprej, tisto, kar konstituira pač evropske narode nasploh, je pač šovinizem in tistega v bistvu v tako ekspresivni obliki, v tako dramatični obliki pač nismo poznali. Zgodila se je še bistveno bolj brutalna zadeva z izbrisanimi, ampak ta je v bistvu bila narejena nek, kako bi rekel, nespektakularen način. Dostikrat je bilo vprašanje, ki sem ga dobil, pač zakaj je to naslov predstave, Slovensko narodno gledališče. In nekako te tri besede združujejo tri stvari zame. Ena pač to, da to ni zadeva desne, brutalne vlade in primitivnega šovinističnega dela populacije, ampak je to dejansko nekaj, kar vsem nam, pri čemer vsi mi participiramo. In vsi mi participiramo s tem, pač kakšno vzdušje ustvarjamo. Zato je, recimo, ko pridemo na umetnost, kulturo in tako naprej, sigurno ena od vlog ali pa eno od mest kakršnegakoli javnega delovanja in umetnost to je, vprašanje pač, kakšno klimo ustvarjam in kakšno klimo dovoliš, da se ustvari v skupnosti, v kateri živiš. In v tem smislu je pač to slovenska zgodba, vsi, ki živijo, Slovenci, ne Slovenci, je to pač nekaj, kar zadeva vse nas, plus to, kar sem pač prej povedal, da je to neka konstitutivna dimenzija vsakega evropskega naroda, ni ga nešovinističnega evropskega naroda, prosim, popravite me, če poznate kakšen primer. Vprašanje gledališča pa je zanimivo, pa bom pač povedal z neko anekdoto. Najprej, ko je bila predstava narejena, v bistvu sem mislil, da bo to enkratni dogodek. In sem pa pisal, oziroma z Maske, ki je to producirala, smo pisali 3 direktorjem slovenskih narodnih gledališč v Sloveniji, Ljubljana, Maribor, Nova Gorica, z vprašanjem oziroma ponudbo, da bi želeli pri njih odigrati to predstavo in na nek način konceptualno umestiti zadevo tam, kamor dejansko sodi. Edini, ki se je odzval takoj, je bil Janez Janša, direktor ljubljanske drame, in njegova prva reakcija je bila, da je na nek način užaljen zaradi tega imena, zaradi tega, ker je pač na nek način misli, da jaz njih postavljam kot sokrivce za to, kar se je pač zgodilo. In na nek način je v bistvu imel prav, čeprav to ni bilo narejeno v nekem moralnem gestu, ampak bolj tako kot pač sem pač prej povedal za celotno nacijo, da participira pri ustvarjanju neke družbene klime, gledališče pač neodtujljiv del tega. Večina pač gledališča, pa verjetno tudi umetnosti nasploh, razume svojo vlogo v odnosu pač do realnosti na ta način, da reagira na njo ali pa da je postavlja pač ogledalo ali pa ne, pač neke druge oblike refleksije. In medtem, ki jaz pač mislim, da je gledališče del realnosti. Gledališče po eni strani realnost sama na sebi, ki ima svoje zakonitosti, po drugi strani je pa pač del realnosti in se jo ne da izuzeti. In kadar delamo gledališče, mi ne samo, da komentiramo realnost, pri kateri kao nimamo nič, ampak pravzaprav dosti več govorimo o sebi, ko govorimo o drugih, kot pa da bi govorili o drugih. To sem? Za gledališče, ostala dva? Gorica ni odgovorila sploh, medtem ko v Mariboru smo igrali, ampak zaradi tega, ker je pač predstava bila povabljena na Borštnikovo srečanje in je bil zelo zanimiv pogovor z umetniškim direktorjem drame mariborske in na nek način sklep tega pogovora, javnega pogovora je bil, da pač njihova publika vendarle ne bi, nekako da oni vejo, da on ve, kakšna je publika in da to mogoče vse ni, da sicer je za izbrano, ampak ne za vso publiko in tako naprej. Spet, ko bi rekel, en simptom, o katerem bi se dal dosti pogovarjati, ampak mogoče v pogovoru pozneje tudi ne bi rad, da to ostane nekaj, kar je simptom na osebni ravni. No, potem bi par besed rad povedal o projektu Mi vsi smo Marlene Dietrich for. Naj sam pojasnim, ta for je v bistvu kratica za forces. Kot veste, v 90-ih je bilo ogromno mirovniških, ogromno posredovanj modrih čelad in ponavadi je vsako od teh misij imela na koncu for, K4, I4, S4 in tako naprej, če govorimo o Balkanu, pa tudi pri drugih. Ta predstava je v bistvu na nek način nastala iz vprašanja, kako bi v bistvu nek scenski umetnik, gledališki umetnik, kaj bi on počel, če bi se znajdel sredi vojne, a še vedno bi delal to, kar tudi sicer počne. In odgovor je zelo preprost, pač zabaval bi vojake in kot pač vemo, v 20. stoletju se je razvila izjemno močna tradicija zabav za vojake. Tudi sam sem v bistvu na nek način zabaval vojake, jugoslovanske ljudske armade, ko sem bil pač v šoli in na teh državnih praznikih ali pa vojaških praznikih in tako naprej recitiral revolucionarno poezijo in tako naprej. V glavnem, vprašanje je bilo to in odgovor skratka, če se znajdem v vojni, sem pač delam teater naprej in delam pač taki teatra. Zdaj, bistveni premik, ki se je pri tej predstavi pojavil, je premik premik k temu fenomenu iz 90-ih let, ko se izrazito razvijajo mirovniške misije, v katerih sodelujejo modre čelade Združenih narodov ali pa enote NATO. Kar je zelo značilno in kar je temeljna razlika teh misij je to, da so mednarodne, se pravi niso nacionalno sestavljene za razliko od vojsk, ki se medsebojno bojujejo. In druga stvar, ki je pač pomembna, je to, da vojaki na mirovnih misijah nimajo mandata za bojevanje. Se pravi, oni so vedno med dvema ognjema in tam so, da pač ta dva ognja na nek način ločijo. In tu se pač pojavi nek problem, kjer spet, kot bi rekel, umetnost in kultura dobi svoje funkcionalno mesto znotraj mirovnih misij. Namreč vojaki, eno švedsko študijo smo brali, da smo to pač pripravljali o navadah in delu švedskih vojakov na mirovnih misijah. In eno od vprašanj, oziroma od problemov, ki se pojavlja, je to, da v bistvu so nenehno pod pritiskom in stresom in nimajo da kje prazni. Zdaj, naj se sliši to, ko bi rekel, cinično in obsceno, ampak prednost vojakov, bojevnikov v primerjavi z vojaki mirovniki je ta, da lahko sprostijo pač ta svoj stres, pač, ker lahko streljajo, ubijajo, koljejo in tako naprej. Medtem, ker pač vojaki na mirovnih misijah tega ne smejo, nimajo tega mandata. Kakšne so posledice tega, da nimajo tega mandata? Skratka, da so na nek način kastriranci, poznamo zelo dobro iz Srebrenice, pa tudi iz kakšnih drugih primerov. Skratka, razmišljali smo o tem, kako bi pa v bistvu pol zgledala predstava ali pač zabava, ki bi jo delal za pač vojake na mirovnih misijah. In potem smo prišli do nekih, kako bi rekel, presenetljivo zanimivih paralel med življenjem neke plesne skupine, sodobno plesne skupine in življenjem vojakov na mirovnih misijah. Vojaki na mirovnih, ali pa vzemimo tako, na mirovnih ali pa tudi nemirovnih misijah. Najprej vadijo, tako kot tudi recimo plesalci ali igralci ali performerji. Imajo nek scenarij, preigravajo te scenarije, potem, ko so pripravljeni za to, da pač grejo in performirajo, tudi grejo in performirajo. In zdaj pač te vojaki na mirovnih misijah se selijo pač od enega žarišča do drugega, tako kot se v bistvu plesalci, igralci, performerji selijo pač od enega festivala do drugega. In enkrat, ko v bistvu prepoznaš, kako podobni so mehanizmi pač delovanja, ne glede na to, da so iz dveh popolnoma različnih motivov nastali, potem seveda je dosti lažje narediti predstavo. Zdaj, ta predstava, ki so jo naredila skupaj z Erno Omar-Zotir, ki jo pač vidite na fotografijah, je imela v bistvu nekako dva vsebinska vira. En vsebinski vir je bil pač nek stereotip zabave za vojake. Zdaj, če se spomnite recimo prizora znamenitega iz Apokalipse zdaj, ko zajčice s helikopterjem pristanejo na neki narejeni ploščadi na jezeru in pač pol performirajo svoj program v mini krilih za ameriške vojake. Dobro, če se ne spomnite, ta slika je v ozadju Erne na nekateri vaši strani, ampak pač te vojaki od zadnje, to je pač so vzeti iz Apokalipse zdaj, zdaj se pa ne spomnim, možda tudi da iz kakšnih dokumentarnih posnetkov Boba Hopa, mislim, da je bolj Bob Hope. Bob Hope je bil pač ta ikona zabavljanja ameriških vojakov v vietnamski vojni in te posnetki so tam definitivno, to je bolj kopja. Skratka, po eni strani smo naredili predstavo z živim bendom, plesom, stand-up comedy in tako naprej. Skratka, nek kliše, ki se pač vleče prvo polovico predstave, zato da v bistvu publiko, ki je v dvorani, na nek način sprosti in reče, saj ne bo nič tazgal, resnici pač en šov, glej, vse so dobre in tako, pa ko resnici nič tazgal. Istočasno se kot neka rdeča nit skozi predstavo vleče en monolog, ki ga izvaja Ludwig Peters na sliki, in v bistvu ta monolog je napisan, je predelava mirovniške, neuradne mirovniške himne, pač in pesmi Imagine Johna Lennona. Če si lahko prikličete, on tam govori o tem, si predstavljaš, da ni nacij, ne točno kako gre, ne kako gre naš tekst, ampak ni religije, ni skratka. No in v bistvu mi smo pol izhajali iz tega, tle noter je v bistvu nek tak nihilistični potencial, in pol smo tekst razdelali tako, da ni bilo več niti družbe, niti narave, niti kulture, poleg tega, da ni bilo ne religije, ne politike, ne vojska in tako naprej. No in učinek v bistvu na koncu je, pač kakršen je, tisti, ki ste gledali, ampak zanimiva, meni je bila tu zelo zanimiva neka tako rekoč vojaška dramaturgija. V tem smislu, da najprej pač sprostiš, na nek način hipnotiziraš pač publiko, potem pa jo pač udariš nekim dosti močnim orodjem. Kot vidite, publika je zelo uživala, in dokler je pač uživala, potem pa, ko je hudič odnesel šalo, pa niti ne več. No, nekako, zdaj bi že nekako premaknil, nekaj še v zvezi z Marlene Dietrich, če se že pogovarjamo o političnosti. Skratka, predstava je na nek način izhajala iz tega, kaj v bistvu jaz naredim, če pač, kaj lahko jaz povem o vojni. In ogromno umetnosti v bistvu je, ki na nek način se je mirovniška in na nek način se distancira od tega, ampak meni se ta odgovor vedno nekako zdi prekratek iz istega razloga kot prej, ki sem pač govoril o šovinizmu. Skratka, saj je res, da so pač vojna zanetili politični interesi in tako naprej, in jaz pri tem nimam nič, ampak na nek način sem soustvarjam to klimo, številka 1 in številka 2, jaz nočem živeti v taki družbi. Torej, kaj lahko naredim, da pač ne živim v taki družbi, a da se ne odselim. No, ta predstava je bila zelo, ko bi rekel, uspešna v teh kriterijih neke mednarodne vidnosti in tako naprej. Osebno je pa štejem za neuspeh iz preprostega razloga, ker dosegla je pač to elitno kulturno publiko na festivalih po celi Evropi, ni pa dosegla tistega, ki mu je to v bistvu bilo namenjeno. In skratka ni dosegla vojaka na mirovnih misijah, oziroma sploh ni dosegla vojaka, publiki se ni oglasil. In bili smo pa zelo blizu, dve anekdoti, lahko povem. V Ljubljani smo bili dogovorjeni, da bomo igrali zelo zgodnjo verzijo, še pred premiero, v vojašnici tam pri BTC-ju, ne vem, kako je točno ime zdaj, ampak to je v bistvu vojašnica, kjer se urijo naše enote za odhod na mirovne misije, takrat Afganistan je bil, pa Bosna, Kosovo in tako naprej. To je tam, pač. In smo bili na ogledu, v jedilnici bomo igrali in tako naprej, in je bil dokument, to je bil načelnik generalštaba, ne spomnim se zdaj, kdo je bil takrat, Ampak skratka, vse je bilo dogovorjeno. Potem je pa 3 dni pred samim dogodkom prispel faks, da pač žal tega ne bo. In začela se je kafkijanska zgodba, pač, zakaj, pa kdo, vprašajte, mi nismo pristojni. Mi smo pač odobrili, ne vem, kdo to ni zdaj odobril. Skratka, to se je začelo. Ravno tako, koproducent te predstave je bil islandski plesni teater iz Reykjavika in smo bili dogovorjeni, da bomo igrali predstavo v ameriški vojaški bazi Keflavik, pač na Islandiji. In tu se je pa zgodil drugačen obrat. Direktorica in umetniška voditeljica islandskega plesnega teatra, ko so videli, kam to gre, so rekli, da naj ne bi one to, da se igra za ameriške vojake, ker ne bi, da so že prej igrali, da imajo dobre odnose in da ne bi hoteli pokvariti teh odnosov. Skratka, negativen odgovor je prišel z druge strani, z naše strani, tako rekoč. In ne glede na to, da smo probali pač večkrat gostovati oziroma povabiti vojake, se to nikoli ni zgodilo. Se je pa zgodil nekaj drugega na tej ravni in sicer nekak del pač tega projekta. Sva z Marjetom Bulcem ustanovila organizacijo imenovano PEACE, to je kratica za Peacekeepers Entertainment Art and Cultural Exchange, v bistvu neke vrste organizacija, ki je namenjena posredovanju sodobno-umetniških vsebin vojakom na mirovnih misijah. In tako, ko smo ustanovila to organizacijo, sva pač se prijavila na vojaški sejem v Gornji Radgoni in sva se prijavila za to, da pač najameva eno stojnico in dolgo časa smo čakali na odgovor, daleč po poteku roka, potem smo pa dobili odgovor pozitiven in z neko mini razlago, da so oni mislili, da smo mi neki aktivisti in tako, ampak da zgledamo resni in da lahko pač imamo štamp. In če rečemo vojaški sejem, je to vojaški sejem. To ni, kot bi rekel, zajebancija, to so tanki, topovi, kalašnikovi, uniforme, medicinska oprema, čelade, bodeče žice in tako naprej. In sicer je tudi neki malo teh, kot bi rekel, logistike, medicine in tako naprej, ampak načeloma je to. In ta sejem je izjemno dobro obiskovan, to je daleč najbolj obiskan dogodek umetniški, ki sem ga kadarkoli ustvaril. Med drugim tudi zaradi tega, ker vojska časti vsak dan z pasuljem. In je bilo, mislim, da je 35,000 uradno obiskovalcev. Zdaj, kot vidite, vojaki so obiskovali ta štand in so gledali te naše materijale in tako naprej. Najprej je bilo seveda veliko nelagodje, kaj išče mir sredi vojaške sejma, ampak pol nekako smo neke simpatije zbrali in tako. In pol smo pripravili razne materijale, naprimer kako naj se obnašajo umetniki oziroma zabavljači, performerji, ko grejo na mirovne misije in smo v bistvu predelali materijale, ki jih ima ena organizacija, ki pošilja ustvarjalce, umetnike v ameriške vojaške baze oziroma krizna žarišča, kjer je ameriška vojska. Oni imajo to izjemno dobro razdelano, tudi dolgo tradicijo in tako naprej. To je izjemno branje, res priporočam te stvari brati. V bistvu svet se da blazno dobro razumeti skozi to perspektivo. Med drugim, poleg tega, da ne bo plačila in tako naprej, recimo ena od stvari, na katero se je treba pripraviti, je considerable amount of handshaking. Ne vem, kako bi pač to prevedel, ne, ampak pripravi se na to, da boš pač se rokoval z velikim številom vojakov. Ne. To smo naredili še neko ocenjevanje kriterijev in tako, ne, na osnovi katerih se pač izbere to skupino ali se ne izbere in tako, ne. V glavnem zame je to bil primer nek direkten odgovor na to, kar sem pač prej govoril. Ne. Sprav, kako v bistvu razumeš sebe kot umetnika, ali nekoga, ki je v bistvu del te družbe in če je del potem I mean it, sem del te družbe in potem grem pač sredi stvari same, s katero se ukvarjam, ali v bistvu sem, ko bi rekel, na nek način izmed te družbe, a seveda in razumem to, da mora biti izmed, zato da bi lahko šele z distanco nekaj proizvedel. Spet ne vrednotim, ne, ampak govorim o pač poziciji, ki jo nekako jaz razumem. Kje naj bi se nahajala umetnost. Koliko je ura? 15:05. Ok, to je že malo velik. Tako da, imate kakšno vprašanje na te točke? Aha, v bistvu jaz ne, če ta naša spletna stran še živa, ne, PIS, mislim, da ni več, ne, ampak, če te zelo zanima, lahko poštem. Ja.
Kakšne materijale ste pa tam kazali, videa?
Ja, pozabil sem povedati, da smo imeli razpis, pač, ker je bil odprt, ne vem, en mesec ali nekaj takega, in smo dobili kar lepo število. Zdaj, večinoma so se ljudje prijavljali, tako kot se pač prijavljajo na vse druge razpise, ne, pa pač pošljajo to, kar imajo. Pol smo pa v bistvu imeli izbor teh del, ne, glavno so bile neka vizualna dela so bila in tako, ne. Pol smo pa v bistvu pokazali negativen primer, ne. Takrat je zaokrožil kao kaj ne. Takrat je zaokrožil, ne, če ste ga videli takrat, norveški vojaki na mirovni misiji na Kosovu so naredili v bistvu neko parodijo, ne. Mislim, ne tako hudo kot Borat varianta, ampak neko parodijo in cela tam. In to so pač dali. Ne, bil že YouTube takrat, ampak skratka, to je zaokrožilo, ne. Tudi po televiziji in tako in kao cel škandal in kako lahko to in pač kakšen ciničen odnos do pač prebivalstva tam in tako naprej. In bolj smo mi to pokazali, ne, tako se ne dela. Dela se tako, da govoriš pač vojakom, ki grejo na mirovne misije in govoriš o miru. To, ko smo mi pač v Marlene Dietrich govorili o tem, ni tega, ni unga, ni tretjega, ni četrtega, just a mild and super silent peace. Tako približno pač. Skratka, to so bili materijali, potem pa je v časopisu, mislim, da je naša obramba, ne, kjer je pač ta časopis uradni vojske, ne, Mare Bulc objavil članek o zabavi vojakov in tako, ne, napisal zelo resen članek in so to objavili. Tako da, zanimiv je bil en obisk, pač spet, da ne bi izpadlo, da ne, tle neki govorim pač tako je in tako mora biti. Vse, kar delam, je vprašanje, dajmo to takoj razčistiti. Jaz nič ne trdim, jaz samo pač odpiram vprašanje. No, in pojavila se je pač ena aktivistka, mirovniška, pač pred sejmom so bile demonstracije proti vojne in v teh dneh je pač prišla do štanda in vprašala, čak, a vi pol sodelujete z vojsko, a vi želite, vi to ponujate za res vojsko. In pač mi vas rekla, da ja, da ja. In tu je od tega začetnega navdušenja, wow, kako dobro, pis sredi vojaškega sejma, kako nam je ratalo, tako ne, prišlo do nekega blaznega razočaranja. Ne. In to razočaranje, jaz ga popolnoma razumem, ne, po drugi strani se mi zdi pa pač, da umetnost mora biti neizprosna ravno glede tega, ne, da vztraja pač na tem, zakaj gre, ne, in da v bistvu ne igra neko dvojno igro. Ja, veš, v resnici mi tle igramo, da hočemo z vojsko sodelovati, a v bistvu ne, je pa, v bistvu jih nateguje. Mislim, da je pač tega, kako bi rekel, cinizma in te neke dvojne vloge ogromno v bistvu v umetnosti, ne, in mislim, zaradi tega človek vsake toliko malo faše, ne, ampak okej.
Še 2 meseca imate eno vprašanje. Naš avtor Pitrova, če ga poznaš? Aha, še on je tudi zelo dobro izgleda. So nekaj na bližnjem vzhodu. Eno kreditorjev Keperov.
Ellen Keperov? Ja, seveda. Ja, on je naredil zid. Pač tak, ja.
Če poznaš, kaj si misliš, na filmu,
Ja, zdaj tukaj je odgovor ta. Mogoče lahko to odgovorim na to vprašanje s predstavo Fake, ker se točno s tem ukvarja. Bo malo daljši odgovor, ampak mislim, da bo, kako bi rekel, precizno odgovoril na to. Fake je v bistvu bila predstava, kjer je v bistvu bilo, dobil sem povabilo iz festivala Exodus, na neki pač naredim v redu in na tisto leto vem, da je Exodus dobil pač zelo bistveno manj sredstev in sem predlagal, nismo videli pač legendarne predstave, legendarne koreografe v Sloveniji in tudi jih ne bomo, ker si pač nihče ne more privoščiti. Dajmo narediti pač fake variante tega. Dajmo narediti to, ne samo, da damo ljudem veselje v tem, da gledajo pomembne predstave, ampak dajmo dati plesni skupnosti, plesalcem, koreografom in tako naprej, možnost, da tudi nastopajo v predstavah, v katerih pač nikoli ne bi mogle nastopati. Ne? In potem smo naredili anketo, vprašanja so bila v plesni skupnosti, profesionalni plesni skupnosti, vprašanja so bila, katerega izmed še živečih tujih koreografov smatrate z najpomembnejšega, Pino Bausch, čigavo predstavo sodobnega plesa bi si želeli videti, čigavo predstava je vas tako močno vplivala, da ste se odločili poklicno ukvarjati s področjem plesa in s katerim koreografom bi pač radi sodelovali. Potem sem pač povabil 5 plesalcev in vsak od njih je v bistvu rekel izrazil željo, s katerega bi koreografa, katero delo bi uprizoril. In tako smo na koncu dobili Steva Paxtona in odlomek iz njegovega dela Goldbergove variacije, akumulacijo od Triše Brown, to je to, kar vidite, solo Williama Forseta, upor mesa Tatsumi Hijikata in Café Miller Pine Bausch. In da mogoče zdaj na tej točki probam odgovoriti na to vprašanje. Ko je Pina Bausch delala Café Miller, to je pač predstava njena ikonična in mogoče se bo kdo spomnil Almodovarjevega filma, govori z njo, kjer na začetku je Pina Bausch, kjer pleše prizor iz te predstave. No, skratka, pač to je neka predstava o samoti, ljubezni, depresiji in tako naprej, ne? In ko se je Pina Bausch ukvarjala s to predstavo, se je v bistvu ukvarjala s tem vprašanjem. Ko smo se mi ukvarjali s Café Millerjem, se nismo ukvarjali s vprašanjem samote, ljubezni, depresije in tako naprej, ampak smo se ukvarjali z vprašanjem apropriacije, kopiranja in tako naprej. Ne glede na to, da smo se ukvarjali s popolnoma različnimi vprašanji, je nastalo delo, ki je praktično popolnoma, mislim, ni identično seveda, ampak zelo blizu temu. Vsaj na ravni podobe, ne govorim na nivoju pač kvalitete in tako naprej, če je dobro storeti, igramo še vedno to predstavo, ampak to bi nekaj bil odgovor. Ne glede na to, da pač nastane tako rekoč ena in ista stvar, je motiv za nastanek tega dela verjetno drugačen. In Alan Caprow, ko je pač naredil ta kvadrat iz ledenih blokov, ni bil motiviran z istim vprašanjem, s katerim sem bil jaz. Zlasti pa pač, mislim, s tem vprašanjem emocij v javnem prostoru, joka in tako naprej, kar je zame recimo bilo izhodišče, ko sem pač prvič delal zid. Drugič to, kar sem prej pokazal v Mariboru, pa je že neka še naprej razdelava, ker je barva postane pač nek moment močan. Ja.
Še en korak naprej, ki ne bavš še naprej, po tej zgodbi, ki ne bavš še naprej, imamo te stavek na to, naprej, in se to pa mogoče že slike gledalca pa gledalcev. To se mi zdi pa res
Ja, to je recimo pač ta moment, da se na koncu Fake It naredijo delavnice za gledalce, ker pač se vsak lahko nauči. Pol ni več vprašanja, kaj samo mi lahko plešemo, ampak vsak lahko pleše. In na ta način se, ne bom rekel, popularizira ples, ampak na neki ravni se pač ta moment svetosti in nedotakljivosti pač umanj. Ne bom rekel, da se razpija, se umanj. Izvoli, Dragan.
Vprašanje.
Ja.
Mene zanima, ker sem v bistvu bila zelo blizu na nek način, zato ker je Dejan mož dela s tabo na čisto predstavi, pa me zanima, ko se z ljudmi pogovarjam o tvojem delu, a ne slišiš?
Slišim.
Ko se z ljudmi pogovarjam o tvojem delu, v bistvu nekako vsak ve, da je pač Emil Hrvatina, Janez Janša, da je na nek način konceptualni umetnik, oziroma da ga zanima koncept in da postavi nek koncept in da se potem recimo predvsem performerji, ki delajo s tabo ali pa igralci ali pa pisalci, včasih to malo upozorijo na to, da se ne ukvarjaš toliko s tem, kaj se sploh igralcu notri dogaja, kako je prišlo do nekega materiala, kaj sploh on sporoča in tako naprej, ampak da je ta nek konceptualni okvir, recimo, zato najbolj pomemben. Tako da zanima me, glede na to, da je iz Fake Ita nastalo še veliko drugih stvari, ne vem, Juri je nadaljeval svojo predstavo, svojim pač delom, Teja, ko smo tudi videli na tem festivalu, je nadaljevala na svoj način. Zanima me, ja, nikoli te nisem to vprašala, pa me zanima mogoče zdaj priložnost, kaj, v bistvu, kakšno je to razmerje oziroma odnos med tabo pa med performerjem. Recimo, ja, ali ti je to pomembno, če ni, zakaj ni in na kakšen način v bistvu nekdo, ki igra, ne vem, Trisha Brown, na kakšen način komuniciraš s performerjem, ki igra Trisha Brown. In če ti to ni zanimivo ali pa pomembno, zakaj ni, oziroma, ja, kako vidiš svojo vlogo v tem procesu performerja, da pride do nečesa sploh? Oziroma te medsebojne motivacije, če tako lahko rečem. Motivacija tvoje, pa motivacija performerja.
Ja, to je zdaj vprašanje, ki se ga ne da z eno potezo odgovoriti. Zaradi tega, ker recimo, če govorimo o Fake Itu ali pa še kakšni drugi predstavi rekonstrukcije, skratka, kjer ne delaš nek svoj material, ampak v bistvu jemlješ od nekoga drugega in to v bistvu pol prevajaš v svoje telo. tukaj gre za nekaj drugega. Skratka, jaz sem te ljudi angažiral kot nek plesni analfabet, ker jaz nimam nobene plesne izobrazbe in sem jih angažiral kot strokovnjake. In tako v bistvu nekako pojmujem performerja. Performer je nek strokovnjak za performiranje. Tako kot vzameš strokovnjaka za luč ali pa žaganje mize, tako angažiraš tudi performerja. In tako kot se posvetiš mizarju in nekomu, se posvetiš tudi tem ljudem. Tako bi moral biti, a vsi vemo, da temu ni tako, da so pol v igri ne samo strokovna vprašanja, ampak in skupinska dinamika in medsebojni odnosi in tako naprej. Tako da moj odgovor bi bil na to vprašanje bi bil, ti si strokovnjak za to, jaz bi rad, da dobim ven to in ti kot strokovnjak ali pa strokovnjakinja veš, kako boš to naredila. To je moj v bistvu odnos. Se pravi, razumem ampak seveda treba je biti, svašta sem slišal na svoji dolgi poti in v nekem trenutku sem tudi nehal delati v gledališču zaradi te znamenite ideologije korenčka in palice, moraš malo korenčka, a moraš pol palice in v bistvu na nek način je preveč, tudi rekel, neke te entropije in premalo znanja. Mislim, da so se stvari dosti spremenile in da je tudi vem iz drugih izdela kolegov in tako naprej, da je dosti več tega strokovnega in manj psihološkega pristopa. Je pa res, da je to neka medčloveška komunikacija in da v njej imaš ta moment, imaš pa tudi seveda nivoje znanja, ker ti lahko dobiš steno, ki je prebarvana korektno, lahko pa dobiš steno, ki je prebarvana tako, da gledaš in ne moraš umakniti pogleda z njej, ker je tako dobro pobarvana. In isto mislim, da je imaš strokovnjake, ki so wow, je pa še ta moment, spet, ko bi rekel, korenček, palica in v tem teritoriju, je pa tudi ta moment, da ti v bistvu v umetniškem procesu tisto, kar je najlepše, najboljše, najbolj dragoceno je to, da v bistvu odkriješ, da veš nekaj, kar prej nisi vedel. In to je v bistvu, ko bi rekel, največja sreča tega, ko v bistvu proizvedeš nekaj, za kar sploh nisi vedel, da veš. Ampak vse to, kar praviš, so zlobne govorice. Ne, hecam se.
To je tudi vprašanje metodologije ali pa tudi vprašanje zaupanja konc koncu.
Absolutno, ja.
Kako ti nekdo lahko zaupa, da se tu na ta način pusti?
Mira, eno vprašanje. S tem kontribuje do zadnje dokumenti perspektive, res priznal, da sem še tako ampak nisem tako bil narejen. Sicer je bila slika, pri dveh zidov in vse, ampak jaz to nisem umila, da je to bila nadaljna ta intervju, ampak jaz res nisem prišteka, da sem šla brat in sem v bistvu ves čas spremela, da je nekaj vprašanje, da je to Janez Janša. Zanimljiv pa so nekakve reakcije na to, oziroma imam sploh tega uredniškega vidika, ko sem popršla, ker se vidi, da je tehnika in tjova na začetku, ker je napisano sam Janez Janša, piše to, ona sam napiše, da govori diskoncentrirano v to smisleno. Dobeno predvidite. V bistvu se začne. Me sam zanima, če je to predvidite. Oziroma, če je to na njim uči, če so pisali.
Pa, recimo, dosti, ko bi rekel, nekih teh medijskih situacij, to je zdaj že, ko bi rekel, vprašanje za drugi del, ampak dosti, ko bi rekel, teh medijskih reakcij ali pa medijskih pojavov, ki so vezani na ime Janez Janša, jih je v bistvu težko v tem smislu pač opredeliti. Če ti praviš, da je to pač medijski performance, ne, ni bil mišljen to. Bil pač mišljen, mi bi naredili intervju, ne, ok, pač kakšen intervju, pač velik, dolg na politična vprašanja. Ok, in to je bilo to. Edino, kar je pač pri opremi, jaz nisem nič sodeloval pri opremi, razen so me vprašali, če mi je ta naslov ok, ne? In ker prej mislim, da je bil neki drug. Pa jaz sem pač predlagal, ker je lepše videti tisto sliko kot mojo, ne? Če bi lahko pač dali to sliko. Ni bila pa mišljena v nobenem, ravno v tem smislu je bila pač, boljš pač, da se vidi to kot pač moja faca in to je bilo to. Ni bilo, dajmo zdaj ni neki, ne vem kaj. Ampak možno, da so oni pač. Vem tudi, ker mi včeraj mi je Tanja rekla, da je ona iz marketinga ni poštekala sploh, iz marketinga dnevnika ni sploh poštekala, sploh ne do 4. vprašanja, ne? In da kako to, da je on njej dal intervju, ne? In da je naklada tist dan ful zrasla, da je pač zrasla. Vsem?
Mislim, ja, meni se zdi zanimivo, da bi se res pač tega občutka res po moje še bolj, ker sem poštekala, pa v bistvu ne, odvila sem, da po vsem tem času, ko spremljam recimo to ime predavanje, da sem še vedno v bistvu pomislila na
Ja, zdaj, jaz stojim za vsako besedo, ki sem jo pač tam, ki je tam zapisana. Ne? To ni bil performance v tem smislu, da zdaj bomo pač naselili v nek prostor in pač neki tam pretendirali. Ne, jaz sem pač povedal. Ne? In tudi, ampak zdaj res, ne? Že govorim pol, ne? Ni bilo tega momenta. Ampak ravno v tem se mi zdi, ko bi rekel, ravno v tem se mi zdi point, no, če že moramo uporabiti to besedo, da ne veš. To se mi zdi, da je Rok nekje, Bevar, nekje zapisal v teh zgodnjih interpretacijah, ne, da je pač političnost tega preimenovanja ravno v tem, da ne vemo, ali je to projekt ali ni, ali je to umetniško dejanje ali ni. In v bistvu bi se kar strinjal s tem. Samo preimenovanje ni pač umetniško dejanje. No, zdaj pač, hvala, pač zdaj lahko naredimo pač neko pauzo, jaz tukaj sicer imam še cel pač kup projektov, ampak mislim, da neko informacijo, neko podobo ste dobili, ne, tako da jaz predlagam pač pauzo, ne, v drugem delu pa pride to, kar vas najbolj zanima, skratka pač zgodba o preimenovanju treh umetnikov, kjer je v bistvu ponavadi najbolj zanimiv del so pač vaša vprašanja. Tako da pač ura je zdaj 20 do 6, ob 6, lahko nadaljujemo. Ja, tukaj sem prinesel knjigice Zid objokovanja, tako da jim lahko razdelim.
Počakaj spodaj, pa se počakaj.
Najbolj skupaj. Zdaj imamo bolj na sabo.
Mislim, da sem bili izkusen.
Živo, Tomaš. Pa boš, pa ostaneš še?
Boš to, da bi pomogo in malo prej. Še druge, večer.
Ja,
Živeli se dodaja na špici. Malo, ja, malo je. Na špici bo potem tako, da lahko bi prišel, če bo recimo, še kakati za posljednje. Če ne, lahko prideš ob eni, tam nekih, kaj ti bo še hranito, pa lahko prideš ob eni, da je pa tisti posilom.
ta je prišla, bi se zdi rekla pa Grega s tem malim, ko ti lahko boš tri popolne, pa ti taka zadeva. Jaz vidim, da je
Novačiš?
Ma to je to, ja. Ma ne, zdaj ne sam, ale moj brat klicu, pa pol, tam nekaj sprašuje, pa sam ne tak prijavno.
Kdaj pa njega zares poznali? Jaz sem ga sicer enkrat videla, pa se nekako...
Ja, zdaj ne morem več kot to, se ima zdaj nekaj take prenove, da v življenju so vse, vsi sta tako učeni, ne? S temi novostami, pa škaš malo ki pa to, hvala mi malo pozneje, ne? Mislim, da nisem več, pa sem se še prisvila. Ampak to pa še izpima, ne? Da smo
Kaj imaš?
glavobolje. Malo zdaj in valjke kakola. Če sem čutila, veš, ko smo da pa sam, zdaj smo se treba. Zdaj nam je sta metabolizem, je počasno, da ti se bi sprašali. Nisem tudi. In vas tale, ni, se spomnim, številno, ni čisto. Se hvala se. Zdaj, da sem malo na pravi, veš kaj, oni pa malo zdaj krizo na pandemiju, oni zdaj na pandemiju, ali smo kaj skrbeli. Na tem, da jih boja pa zelo skrizo. Na ljudi. Doba da, spod kaj način, kaj da zdaj? Veš, zdaj rekel, da imam tako krizo, kot se ne da, se s tem ukvarja, svaža, mislim, dej, kaj smo, veš kaj, kaj smo tudi, kaj je vse štima, ne smo te ravno varstvo, kaj se veš, kaj se s tem? A je, kaj se jaz sem še rekla, da ne bomo rabili, veš, letno.
Jaz sem pa nekaj zanimala, da še vsi kratki vedeli, da vsi zdaj, kar je to, da je še čakaj najčega 12, no, pa je stari, da se ne bomo
Kdo? Ali staj, da ni to?
Možno staj, da bi imeli vedeti, da je eno, da smo do 12.
Ja. Zdaj je bilo, no, potem vsake zapovedne gostira, da se pa a imaš? Imaš? Pa on je še vse. A to što ni odločba, spet nisem imela tega plana, ki je zdaj odpisal Danilo, se spet izgledamo v 8 zjutraj, to je živa, ne? Vse je tako malo, to je nekaj že bilo, da se naša vse. Jaz sem zdajla. Ampak meni vem, če pa 16 leta, jaz pa je 16 leta, jaz mislim, da ne bom na 16 leta, jaz mišla, če je Danilo določil, jaz nekaj izgleda sploh ni določil, da je tisto že šlo. A veš, meni čisto, če on je da, če tisto te bojo zdaj, ko smo spodobila, da se končno zagati, ne, da lahko še popravi, vse da če bo itak čas. Miloča, kaj bi smo čas zdaj, zdaj, če smo mogoče, da smo popravili, da smo možila, če smo
The moment I was about to leave, it began to and this shower rain, and then I said, okay, wait a minute. You presented a few works on this thing with the army, and the name of the man, take it to the world. A bit. But I don't see and since then you have been through a project with the
nisem imel časa to govoriti. So this part will be in English, which actually is even better for me because that is somehow standard language for this presentation. And I would like to show you in the beginning one clip you might recognize.
My name, it is my enemy, who art thyself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So Romeo, what he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owed without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for that name which is no part of thee, take all myself.
So in 2007, three artists from Ljubljana, me, Žiga Karić and Davide Grassi, we changed our names legally into Janez Janša. For those who don't know, Janez Janša is a name used also by the current Prime Minister of Slovenia, and also he was the Prime Minister. His first term was from 2004 to 2008. Our name change, we changed our name legally, and one big aspect of what I'm going to talk today is related exactly to questions of law. Before we changed our names, we applied to enter into a party, Slovenian Democratic Party, and the president of that party is the politician who uses name Janez Janša. So this is the picture from the headquarters of the party. We were accepted, and when we became members, we received a very nice letter from the president of the party, which ended with the sentence, "The more of us there are, the sooner we will reach our goal." We received membership cards. And we became also active in some activities of the party. So these are the 9 summer sport games organized by Slovenian Democratic Party in Celje in that year. And here is the portrait with the politician in the middle and our teammates from the basketball team of Ljubljana. We also visited the summer festival of Slovenian Democratic Party, which was the festival before the parliamentary elections in 2008. Sorry? Na majici? In good company, v dobri družbi. But these are the official, these are t-shirts of the party. This is the cover page of the party magazine Nova Pot, New Way, and I appeared on it, so it's not only on the books, but also on this magazine, in this group portrait. When, after becoming members of the party, we applied for name changing, and we did it in different days, different periods, and we were all allowed to change our names, personal names, into Janez Janša. this was made at the administration office here in Ljubljana. And as soon as you change your name, you also have to change all your documents, so identity cards. We had to issue new passports, and then all kinds of documents which are used for identification in different situations, like health insurance, bank cards, driving licenses, and last but not least, interestingly enough, even the birth certificate. Even in the birth certificate, your name becomes changed. So, as you can see, Janez Janša was born to Vito and Ema Hrvatin, to Silvana Giuliani and Sergio Grassi, and also to Nuša Kariš and Andrej Kariš. When you change your name, you have to also change your signature. And as much as you have to somehow accept your name, the name is something which is imposed on you. Name is not something which is taken for granted, but it's a kind of violence, it's a kind of stamp on you. And all of us, part of our growing up is also accepting our names. And many people had ideas and many people changed their names because they couldn't stand. A little bit similar time dimension is related to the signature you have. Your signature when you are in the age of 15 or 20 is pretty much different from your signature when you are in the age of 30, say. And here was interesting that you had to invent your signature overnight, because you got this paper that you are allowed to change your name. You have to come to issue documents and you have to sign with your new name. And you can imagine that in 5 years the signature looks pretty different from the one which I'm showing you now. When we change our names, we did it in it was a very personal and intimate decision, and we wanted somehow also that this news come to the Prime Minister from our side. So before we would make this information disseminated to colleagues and friends and so on, we sent a letter to the Prime Minister, which is now.
Dear Mr. Janez Janša, perhaps by now the news has reached you that 3 people from Ljubljana, all 3 of us are contemporary artists, whose works regularly represent Slovenia overseas and who are also members of the Slovenian Democratic Party, SDS, have recently changed their names to Janez Janša. If you have not been aware of this, we are pleased that we deliver the news firsthand. Our decision was a conscious one, and it came about as a result of careful consideration. For us, there are no boundaries between our work, our art and our lives, and we believe we are no different from you in this respect. We live together to create and, with your permission, we would like to quote here the words from the letter you sent us when we joined SDS. The more of us there are, the faster we can achieve our goal. We are looking forward to your response. Kind regards, Janez Janša, Janez Janša, Janez Janša.
Now I would like to show you a clip how we somehow made this name changing known also to people from our personal environment.
Zadeva se ni začela takoj po rokam, ampak jaz dobim podatke o zakoncu oziroma bodočih zakoncih par dni prej. In ko sem prebal in videl, da so 3 Janez Janša, sem bil, bi rekel, vlad zbega. Najprej vaši Janša Janša, Janez, ali želite staviti zakonsko zvezo, se mi veso, okrediš na sebe.
Da.
Prepričava Janša, Janezov in Janša, Janezov, zgodala vlada potenzivno odgovora, zato razdaša javno svojega zakonske zveze in oddaša tvoje odnašanje za možene žene.
So the marriage was a real marriage at Ljubljana Castle in that summer, and as you have seen, we three of us were there, so two best men and two who entered in their new life. So, as soon as this event happened, the news was spread and there was a lot of media reaction and also public reaction in general. So this is one which was reporting about marriage. And this marriage was somehow expected because, so the marriage of Janez Janša was somehow expected because at that time the politician was dating his fiancée for about a year or so, or at least publicly it was known that they are together, and the marriage was in the air, but the public needed to wait for some more time before he would actually got married. So here are some headlines from Slovenian newspapers at that time. And some of these interpretations, for example, from Ekvilib.
The gesture is, from now on, in constant process. It will be serialized in connection with their every new work of art and public appearance. Therefore, it will take some turns unprecedented in other known forms of subversive affirmation.
And Dijela Krečić. When we change our names, as I showed you, we change a lot of documents, all of them actually, And we also asked a new membership card with a new name. And although repeating again and again, we never received the new membership cards. And later on, we had an exhibition in which we would exhibit all our personal documents. All of them were on name Janez Janša, except membership cards of Slovene Democratic Party. Among many writings, I would like just to stop and comment a little bit the article published in Dnevnik with the title Is Janez Janša an idiot? Which was signed with the name Ivo Sanader. Ivo Sanader was at that time Prime Minister of Croatia, and for international guests, you know that Slovenia and Croatia have constantly tensions, mainly about the border between two countries. Anyhow, the article is really interesting and in a way painful, because he said that normally there would be no newspaper who would dare to publish an article with the title Is Janez Janša an idiot, because it would be immediately sued by the politician and his very powerful lawyers. But now, since we have artists with that name, there is no problem. For two reasons. One is that artists are anyhow used to be talked about as idiots, and that their work could be called crap. On the other hand, they are harmless beings. They don't have money to employ lawyers and to go into a process like this. And a week later, now I could say that this is a kind of media performance. This is our reply.
In the article entitled Is Janez Janša an idiot?, which was published in the national newspaper Dnevnik, page 9, on 1st of September 2007, the author Ivo Sanader writes, Janez Janša is the biggest idiot in the universe. Janez Janša is a common fool. This is why, you see, Janez Janša is an idiot. These statements are completely unsubstantiated, deeply offensive, and detrimental to my already good reputation. This is why I demand a public apology from Mr. Ivo Sanader to be published in a visible place in your newspaper no later than 22nd of September 2007. In the case that no such apology is offered, I will seek justice and legal satisfaction. Regards, Janez Janša.
Now, here is important also to know that the name of journalist is not Ivo Sanader, it's Boris Dežulović, but for this article he used a pseudonym. So here this maybe could be like a little answer in the direction you asked before, if that is a kind of performance. In a way, I would say that the ground was made for something like this to happen. And when we found this interesting and appropriate for us, we would then place ourselves on that ground. Here it's important to try to read this not in the current time, but with the time distance. So imagine like in 30 years somebody would look at these two articles and not knowing what was going on and who was called at that time Janez Janša might be confused. Now, one of the things which came out after our name changing was also the fact that the legal name of our Prime Minister and politician is not Janez Janša, but it's Ivan Janša. And this came out in a newspaper called Finance, and they asked actually the cabinet of the Prime Minister if he is going to change his name, but the answer was no. But the question of journalist was very relevant because she found out that when he appears at the court, and that is pretty often, he appears there with the name Ivan Janša, which is his legal name and name which he is obliged to use in public appearances, especially in official situations. But when he signs a state document as the Prime Minister of Slovenia, and he was also for 6 months presiding the European Union, he uses his name Janez Janša, which is not his official name. Despite this, he continued using his nickname in political life, although there was a pretty significant difference in the situation when he was inaugurated as a Prime Minister in 2004, when the President of Parliament called him with name Janez Janša, and in 2012, when the President of New Parliament called him with name Ivan Janez Janša. So there is a shift towards legalization of his name. So when you change your name and you continue doing what you've been doing before, you travel and they call you and wait for you with your new name. So these are pictures from airports around the world. Let me play for you one interpretation by Italian philosopher Antonio Caronia about name changing.
Da pregiudicio si potrebbe quasi sostenere che questi tre artisti abbiano come dire, operato una specie di operazione che si potrebbe chiamare di colonizzazione del significato, che sono andati in un posto e si sono appropriati di qualche cosa che all'origine non era loro. Ma è una colonizzazione, come dire, in qualche maniera di secondo grado, perché già qualcuno aveva colonizzato questo diciamo, Janez Janša, neanche il vero, tra virgolette, o il primo, il primitivo Janez Janša era uno Janez Janša, tra mille virgolette, davvero. Non era Janez Janša davvero, era detto Janez Janša.
So this is an interesting situation, interview which we gave to the Political Weekly Mark before the parliamentary elections in 2008. In that time, in that period, this Political Weekly would publish every week interview with president of one parliamentary party, and all of them were doing that, but Janez Janša, he didn't want to give interview, and then we were asked if we would like to do interview instead of him, and our answer was we would like to do interview but not instead of him, and we made agreement and gave this interview. Maybe we can talk later about some details. On the September 17, 2008, on the 50th birthday of a politician who used his name Janez Janša, the book called Janez Janša Biography, written by Marcel Stefančić Jr., was published. Here are some pages from the book. Actually, I have it somewhere here, but I think it's also downstairs. So this book is a biography of three of us, and it's a true biography, real biography, and these images are images of three of us, and this could be understood also as a kind of colonization of a certain place which was booked for someone else. Sooner or later, the person with such public appearance and with such power and visibility would get a biography. Now this place has been taken by someone else who was not supposed to be there. It's Dragana in the middle. It's an interesting book also because it's in a way kind of history of this period from mid-60s until today, and it is the writer, you know, has very special style. These are images from parliamentary elections just 4 days after the book was released, and we went to present our book into the press center of election board. This is something which is highly recommended for every citizen of every democratic country, because these are a couple of hours in which, in life of democratic countries, in which everything is possible, and also you see politicians, and in their faces, in their body gestures, in their micro choreographies, you see that everything is possible. Suddenly, somebody who was so distant looks very close to you. These are the hours in which we are all waiting to hear the result. So this picture is interesting, especially for us who live in Slovenia. So the woman in the middle, she used to be and is again the chief of cabinet of the Prime Minister, Nika Dolinar, and behind her on the right side, two men are former and present Minister of Culture. So Vasko Simoniti and Žiga Turk. As you can see, they enjoy very much reading or looking at biography. So this was the stage there, and in that period of time, we were invited in Graz, Steirische Herbst, to do the exhibition, and we made an exhibition called Name Ready Made, who gave also title to this presentation. The exhibition mainly consisted of displaying of our personal documents, so IDs, passports, driving licenses, etc., all of which I showed you before. And there were several questions which appeared to us. First question was, can we get substitution documents for that period of time? We asked that in at administration office, and their answer was no. And then we sent a letter to the president of Slovenia, so not the prime minister, but president, who is the highest sovereign and has this possibility to interfere into kind of normal legal continuity of society in case of war or in case of abolition, etc., etc. So we asked him, could he make kind of exception and give us documents for that period of time. The answer came when the exhibition was already open, and it was written like that he is not in condition and doesn't have the ability to do that. So for 1 month we left our documents there, and we used as naming of these documents, we used kind of cliché, musealic cliché. As you can see, the name of the work was number of the identity card, and the material and the dimensions, etc. But the second question which appeared to us and to many people was, are these personal documents artworks? So instead, answering ourselves, we asked 2 people. One was the director of Museum of Modern Art, which is kind of highest institution in the country, and her answer was yes. More elaborated and more interesting question came from the court assessor, who is a person usually judging the value of an artwork. This, in every country you have them. In Slovenia there are 5 of them, I think, and these are people who, in case like an artwork is stolen or damaged, or they are asked from court to estimate value of an art object. So we asked him to judge according to criteria he had if these personal documents can be considered as artworks. And he wrote a very interesting expertise saying that these works can be understood as artworks, and he placed them into tradition of body art, performance art, and so on, saying that this is kind of documentation of performance which happened in during name-changing operation. And next to this, he also estimated the value which these works would have on the art market, and identity cards in that year he estimated at 2,000 euros and passports at 3,000 euros. Interestingly enough, more or less the same price you would need to pay if you would try to get a document on the black market. The last sentence he wrote was, but these documents could not be sold on the art market because they are valid identification documents. The next question which appeared to us and to everyone actually was who is the owner of these objects. The owner, if you don't know that, it's good to know, you are not the owner of the documents. You just got them for the period of validity to use them for identification in the situations in which you are required to identify yourself with, I'm talking now about identity card and passport. And and you cannot use it for anything else. The owner is state or Ministry of Interior Affairs. The next question which we raised also was, are these ready-made? That's why the title was put, in a way, yes. So these are the objects which are taken from reality and put into artistic context. They are made by someone else and not by hands of an artist. But it's also true that in difference to, let's say, classical notion of ready-made, which once leaving reality and entering into artistic context, doesn't go back into reality. So into real life and where it was taken. So Fountain by Duchamp, once it entered in the museum, didn't go back into the toilet to have the function which it had before. Doesn't matter if it's true or not, or if he just brought the new one. But in our case, all these documents are actually valid and functional documents which we use in our everyday life, and we have to use them. There is quite big fine actually if you don't have identity card with yourself and you are legitimated, you are requested by police. So it is ready-made, but in a way it is a bit different. One of us, he already changed his name back. So Janez Janša, usually when we appear in some context where before we would appear with our former names, the organizers, they would use very often this formulation, Janez Janša, also known as Aka, somebody else. So now we have with Žiga Kariš changing back his name. Very interesting situation where Žiga Kariš, also known as Janez Janša. So these images here I'm showing you because when he decided to change his name, the documents were supposed to be destroyed. And we had a very interesting debate at the Ministry of Interior Affairs with the person who is responsible for personal documents. Our intention was to go there and with a bunch of papers and materials and so on, we came there to ask if it would be possible, since now these documents are not valid anymore, and since now they are pure artworks, so they don't function anymore in reality, would it be possible not to destroy them physically? So not to make a hole, which is the procedure which is usually done in case that document is still, if the date which is valid, which is indicated as date of expiry, did not come yet. In case it expired, you don't need to destroy, but in this case, yes. And she said that they have to do that because there are still situations in the country in which police is not connected with the terminal, so they cannot communicate. They cannot get back information from terminal that the document is not valid anymore, but it should be physically destroyed. And then there was a compromise. She said, okay, what I can do for you is we make a hole on the part of document where vital informations are not touched by it. And as you can see, the hole is made somewhere where no information is written. In 2010, we participated with our passports at one exhibition in Vienna, and the auction there was organized by Sotheby Austria, and one of our passports was actually sold to the private collector for the price of 1,900 euros. So it was good price for the buyer. Knowing also, this is an interesting information also about how art market functions. I told you before about the prices for the personal documents. We asked the court assessor a year after if he can estimate the price again. You know, 1 year passed, something happened, and so on. And he accepted it, and he estimated the value of identity card at 2,200 euros and passport 3,300. And he said in art at art market, if nothing exceptionally changes, yeah, the price, and the market is more or less stable, the prices go linear 10%. But one of these documents were not valid anymore. So the price of documents of former Janez Janša, now Žiga Kariš, raised double. So he could sell, first of all, he can sell, it's not illegal, his documents, and the price he could reach, according to court assessor, would be 4,000 for identity card and 6,000 for passport. Now, of course, the question here is not about money, but it's more about how the system functions and what kind of obscenity, in a way, is integrated in it. And here we have another interesting situation. Two of us, we have double citizenship. And the passports which you see are passports of the same person who in Slovenia has his legal name Janez Janša, and in Italy his legal name is Davide Grassi. The legislation on name and name changing is not synchronized. Probably it belongs to this package of legislation which stayed unsynchronized within European Union as a kind of manifestation of cultural diversity, differences, and so on. So, basically speaking, there is no automatism in name changing in case you have double citizenship, but you can have in all these terrorist, at the time of terrorist paranoia and so on, you can have an exceptional situation where one and the same person has legally two different names and two different valid documents. As you can see, they will expire in a couple of years, both of them. So this is a little bit similar story in Croatia. And to end this presentation, I would like to show you this clip.
Torej, poskajam mogoče s to provokativno parafrazo Šekspirja, ali bi Emil Hrvatin pod drugim imenom Janez Janša enako dišal? Moja teza je, da ne. In očitno je preimenovanje potrdilo to tezo.
Thank you very much. So if you have some questions, I would be happy to answer them.
Why did you decide to announce the party? We don't hear. Can you speak a bit louder? No, it's okay. Why did you decide to send a letter to SDS at the beginning?
The letter about name changing. The letter about name changing was sent to the Prime Minister. So not to the party, but because we wanted to inform him directly. So not to hear from a newspaper and so on, but directly. Although we assumed that he already knew. But not necessarily, because to have a little bit funny and cheap entertainment, yeah, for you, it was very interesting how the people in the administration office reacted. So we didn't go on the same day, but in, I think, time span of a couple of weeks. And when the third one went there, the woman there became quite upset, like, are you sure you want to change your name? You sure you want to change your name into this? And colleague next to her, sitting next to her at another window, look at her like, what's wrong? Like, why are you so upset, you know? But here somebody, you know, guy who he wants to change his name into Janez Janša. And then she said to her, calm down, this is now kind of trend, you know. So, you know, people had different relation. They were probably thinking, look what an idiot, you know, who come and change name into this name. But yeah, the answer is we wanted this directly. On the other hand, it is a very nice letter in terms of like literature and so on. So I also see this kind of quality, and also it says something about the relation between art and politics.
What is happening now with your name when Janez Janša is again the Prime Minister, maybe even stronger? Is there any attacks from their side? Because now he's Prime Minister again, so...
I mean, you can read all kinds of things in the newspapers, and it's true that we are very exposed since he became the prime minister. But I think I don't have any information. Yeah? It's more like I think that things are even worse. Yeah? It's not that we have like a powerful person on the top who then directs down, do this, do that, but it's more kind of creating of climate or atmosphere. That's why this is really essential for me, in which people are ready to do even more than they are asked. Yeah? So today, I think we should, if first of all, no fear, no fear, yeah, number one. But in case, yes, a little bit of fear, yes, a little bit of fear, in that case I think we should be more afraid of people who are willing to do more than they are asked than from this. So I cannot speculate. The things are known, that the movie which we are making, and it will be released in the fall, has been declared by some people at Viva Film Studio as a pornography and inappropriate and so on. Then the media jumped on it, and also we were asked immediately to send reports, detailed reports about finances and so on, which is completely illegal from the side of Ministry of Culture, but it never happened before. And it's clearly politically motivated.
How many people actually
what is the number in this Hitchhiker's Diary from a lot, yeah, a lot of people. But I don't know, what would you like to hear? Statistically, or relation, or... No, maybe I answer because I don't know, yeah? But maybe the question you would be interested is, did people who know me before, do they call me with the new name? because there are many people whom I didn't know from before, and they get from me Janez Janša name. That's the name I have, and I'm obliged to use the name. It's not a performance, it's a real thing. Unless the real thing is performance, but let's not enter into this debate. No, I think here it's my answer would be a little bit different than Mladen Dolar's. Yeah? So Dolar is following Shakespeare, saying that actually when you change your name, you become another person, and I don't think, although I might smell different, but I think that name is an interface for you. Yeah? It's the way how you enter in relation with the people around you. Maybe it's better question, better formulation for your question, do you call yourself Janez Janša? And the answer would be, well, I didn't call myself Emil Hrvatin, and I don't call myself Janez Janša, but other people do. Other people use your name much more than you do. And it's a little bit, when you change your name, it's like a little bit like when you die. Yeah? When you die, you are dead, and other people have to do with your death. Yeah? It's not the same, but also when you change your name, other people have this question, how should I call you?
But you react on Emil still for people from before Janša? Yeah.
Well, interestingly enough, as I said at the end of this presentation, I have two legal names. So my name in Croatia legally is Emil Hrvatin. So I didn't know that. I went to Croatia. Please give me passport with name Janez Janša. No way. You can get that, but you have to go through the name changing procedure of that country. And it's different.
Yeah. It also takes some time, I think. It's not a matter of thing that happens overnight. Because we had a performance with Lydia and Vita in Belgrade, and it was very funny because the name changing happened just somehow after the premiere, but somehow before this Belgrade touring or whatever it's called. And then these technicians in the theater, there was a group of, I don't know, 13 people around this performance, and we were there, and, like we hang around, we rehearse a little bit. And then these people, the technicians from Belgrade, they said, oh, Janez said this, Janez said that. In Yugoslavia, like, it's really like you said, Janez for Slovenian people. Like, if you say as a joke, you say, oh, Janez, it's a really bad joke to say Slovenian. And then we were all like, okay, it's a joke, but really, like, they're really serious. Who is Janez? Because we didn't know what they mean. And then we were like, oh, Janez said, okay, then it should be like this, like light or whatever. So this was very funny because I think it also takes time. If today we would go there and perform, I think we would all know, Janez said, okay. So I think it's also a matter of really appropriation through time. It's not like it happens overnight. But for me, really, it would be interesting because why I think we somehow also invited you was this kind of really strange line between life and art. Like, what is this reason? Motivation to do and so on. So, as you say, we don't have to go into cheap entertainment and so on, but for me it would be really interesting how do you, because I can imagine that you cannot predict all the things in advance. When you really decided to do this, like the moment of decision was probably very strong, because it's not like, I think it was very strong and very motivated, but then somehow you could not predict, I think, all the things that would happen. So it's a little bit like this, the question is like this, where does endurance come from? Or where does this motivation has to somehow really last? Like maybe it's not such a precise question, but it really has somehow to be filled with, like, refilled again, this motivation to really stay in this game. Because I think some people also maybe didn't understand this, like the frame of this lecture, or the frame even of what is work. Even we had some artists from Belgrade, two dramatists from Belgrade, who parties in Serbia. And you know, like, how do you take reality and make it into your own stage? How do you really take reality and life and make it into what you want to say? Because the stage itself obviously is not anymore, it's too limited, it's too codified, and you cannot say really a lot there. So yeah, but in order to do this, like, what is this? Where is this motivation? What do you have to be as a person?
Yeah, well, maybe simple question would be, and that the name changing, the change of name. I don't consider, and also other two guys, we don't consider this as a kind of artistic gesture. It's a real thing. You change your name like everyone can change his or her name. And when you place it there, when you place that in the appropriate place, yeah, then you don't have this problem with endurance. So you immediately answer to yourself, this is not a performance, yeah? This is, I changed name, yeah? Now my name is this, and that's it. And then you under no circumstances, you don't change that. And that's it. So sometimes I think the most interesting are not these spectacular situations you read in media and so on, but the most interesting question is this very simple, daily, basic question: how should I call it? Or Janez, sorry, Emil, sorry, Janez. This is where I think, for me, the thing is the strongest. I also know strategy of strategies of people who know me after name changing, and they would like to be closer to me. And then somewhere they find out, or it's not a big deal to find it, that my former name was M. So in their mind, if you want to be like closer to that person, of course you call him with the name given by his parents, not by this name, which is impossible that somebody would have. Take this name, not having something else beside that name. But in this case, the name is more like a cipher to be deciphered and not an interface. So in a way, when you type Janez, it's Janez Janša, and you want to come to me, it's like not enough. You would, as if you would need another password, you know, to approach. And I know that this is the situation, and I help people. Help in terms like, I mean, call me as you want. But I know that this is not a simple thing, and sometimes it's also, I mean, in very like personal life, family and so on, friends and so on, there are situations which are not pleasant at all, you know. But you answer to your question is this: you decide, that's it. I remember this moment of postman coming, ringing. It was Saturday morning, and I knew. And it was just this, the very short moment. Okay, things are going to be different. But it was rather real split of a second, because before the decision was taken, was made nearly a year before we actually did it. So it was quite a long period of nurturing. In a way, it was a kind of pregnancy period.
When you say that the decision was really intimate or personal, is there anything really personal? Like, you can't say,
well, we know from the 60s that personal is political. Yeah.
But in this way, as you say, it's a personal decision, you kind of shut the mouth of the other question, maybe who does, yeah, why? And of course, it's a personal decision. No, I'm not why. Like, if I'm thinking about these two guys from Belgrade, maybe also my situation is a bit different, that I much more identify with the situation in Belgrade. I can totally understand very much from the, yeah, why. And here I'm really thinking about it again and again.
Thinking about your gesture as a gesture of basic identification. First of all, I was thinking about the gesture of changing the name as a gesture of basic identification. First of all, with a kind of relativization of the name of any kind of identity. I suppose that was the idea. Also, maybe. And yes, and but this change was made very official way, in the sense that I mean the change of the names were official, and some authority, which is here the state, had to approve it. So it seems like. Asking from some highest authority, whatever, or maybe some kind of father figure to approve this change. And then, but do you think that it would be possible to make such a project with changing the name unofficially? I mean, without this official change and just trying to change it in an unofficial way.
So to have to use name Janez Janša in public life, but not doing that.
Yes, maybe or some other name or yeah.
Well, this is like for public for public persons like artists. Art is very common practice, like pseudonym and so on. Well, here I don't know. I think this is big difference. This is big difference, and what is sometimes difficult to accept for some people is that this was done really legally. And for me, this is really big difference because. In a way, if this would be pseudonym, this could be kind of like very understandable and clear situation. Okay, they are doing a performance and so on. But if you do it legally, then you have this question which persists, like you said, as a question. Why do you need this to do it legally? And some of the works we did together or individually point very strongly this relation between art and law, because in democratic societies where we have the state of law, pravna država, state of law, the legal system is created in order to protect the citizen, but on the other side also to make conditions for violence from the side of state towards a citizen. So I think today the real political or power relations or the place where the political happens in our life is legal system and not so much ideology, because we know that more or less all the parties are becoming similar. It's impossible to have one party, a ruling party in democratic society, unless we have an American system. So basically, it's not anymore a question of ideology, but it's much more a question how in political interests and power interests are written in law, which becomes frame for our lives. And in that sense, the question, if I may reformulate your question, is not anymore why didn't you use this as a pseudonym, but the question is why is Prime Minister using Janez Janša as his pseudonym?
Yeah, yes, of course. I was just thinking about this change, not so much as using the new name like a pseudonym, but just like this real, the change which is konotranjen, I don't know the word, which is interiorized, whatever, like this one was in a way, but parallelly at the same time it was also official. And here you mentioned state of law, and I think that's the point where I do not agree with it. As far as I understood, you said the political is formulated or defined through the state of law.
No, political interest and power relations are are the way how we get laws written. It's not kind of abstract technical thing, but it's very much political, the laws that we have and the rules.
I just wanted to say that I somehow don't believe in this state of law. Because I see it as a totally unpolitical construction. Then, from that point of view, I'm just wondering when you are dealing with it through art and whatsoever, what do you get from it, and what is the result, and what is the final, except the very game and the very those signs that we saw that the Prime Minister, of course, is using some false name, in fact, etc., and many other connotations. Finally, those passports are coming to Sotheby's in a way. I was all the time thinking of these authorities, the state, the Sotheby's, the biggest gallery, the most important gallery, etc. So, why in a way were you addressing those institutions? Why to address those institutions at all? This is more like my personal dilemma.
You ask them a question, they cannot reply. Mm-hmm. That is. So you ask them, basically.
So in a way you revealed the background of that system.
Yeah, in a way, the story which is going on is that Museum of Modern Art in Ljubljana, they want to include our identity cards into their collection. Yeah? They wrote to the administration office, they gave kind of a reply according to law, and they said for other questions, please address the Ministry of Interior Affairs, Department for Personal Documents. they wrote, and they got what is the fine if you use this document and so on, and they suggested, please find another way to enlarge your collection. So, the question which the question which is impossible to address puts in a question, in a way, the authority of the one who is supposed to answer that question. So, that is why we ask, because you see that there are no all answers. It's the same like when you get the worst thing which you can get as a parent from your child is the question you cannot answer. It's like you get paranoid. It's like it's the end of the world, you know. But that's how, in a way, life are organized, you know, by questions which put into question the authority of the one supposed to know. Okay, thank you for your attention.
Okay, so my role is to conclude this session. Thank you very much. And I had something very smart before, but something confused me. No, for me, I just want to add somehow also as a conclusion, but also as a continuation, that this, I think you put everybody a little bit on in this kind of panic situation by asking a different kind of question instead of answering, or by not even answering, or you know, that there are many things that are unanswered, and I think everybody feels a bit nervous when they are in touch with you. And I think this, in some way, for some of us, it works as a kind of motor to simply proceed, no, like to project, yeah, to start up some other questions, or to start up even thinking processes itself. So thank you for making us nervous, and thank you for motivating us. I think your work is, and your way of thinking and way of operating is really very motivating for many of us. And thank you for coming, and I hope to see you tomorrow. We have a lecture or a presentation of work of Kic and Magnet. Magnet is a group that worked in the 90s in Serbia, and Kic is a tandem, as they call themselves, that work basically in Slovenia, but also around the world. So we have this presentation tomorrow at 5 in PLESNIH, so welcome. It will be in Slovenian and English.